Hey folks, I'm Dave. Welcome to the channel. So I recently had a viewer at TTG ask if I had a video showing how to create a gingerbread house that could be hung on the wall. I told him I didn't, but that with Christmas coming on, I would try to do something soon. So this will be my attempt, and we're going to make this. And we're going to start by drawing the house out first. We just want to grab a square, hold down the Shift key, drag out a perfect square, click your selector tool, go up top, make sure your lock is on, and we're going to go 100 millimeters by 100, and that's somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 inches. So we're going to base the size of everything else around this. We're going to click the hexagon here, the shape tool, hold down Shift and draw out a perfect hexagon. Now remember, you can push down on your mouse wheel and move your entire canvas around, or you can scroll in and out with it. Once you get your hexagon, you can hold down the control key. You get a little controller on top, and you can turn this into a triangle, and then we can just drag it out and make a roof to set on top. And we just want a little bit of overhang. We're going to make some gingerbread and add them to the sides. And you can hold down your Alt key as you're moving this, and you can line it up on that house, drop it, select everything, and then go over to Weld in the modifier tools and click Weld. Okay, so we're part way there. We got a long way to go though. This might take a while, but stick with me. I think you'll enjoy it. I think we'll make the roof look like it has some snow on it. So we'll grab a circle and just drag out a little oblong shape like that. And with it selected, click the array tool. And we want a little bit of overhang. So we need a negative number in the spacing. So we'll go -2 and see how that works out. And then on the X columns, just go up. So I think we probably need a little more overhang. So I'm going to back up, and I'm going to make this a -3. That looks pretty good. And that's probably about all we need. Click OK. And they're grouped together. When you use the array tool, they'll be grouped initially. We just want to drag this out a little bit. And we're just going to set it on the top so you can grab the edge and turn it around a little bit. And work with it until it's just right and looks like a little bit of snow. Whatever looks good to you, do that. That looks pretty good. Maybe stretch it a little bit. And once you get one side set, you can Control D to duplicate, and then use Control Shift H to do a horizontal flip, and then you can just pull the other piece over to where you want it, and then select both, go over to Weld, and weld them together. Now we have one piece, and then we'll make some we're going to make some candy canes and attach to this. So I think we will we'll probably do that first before we make our gingerbread. So I'm going to pull this over out of the way a little bit. Well, I'll pull it over here. Try not to put it behind my head. So to make the candy cane, we're going to use a free font called Argo Typography. And it's public domain, and I'll put a link where you can get it down in the description. It's a really nice font. All of the letters are capital, And we are going to use a U. Hit your selector tool, use the comma key or the period key. You can flip it around. And then we're going to use the letter I believe. Yep, letter I. Click your selector tool, and then we're just going to put these two together and make a candy cane. Sometimes using fonts will save you some time when you're trying to make things. If you hold that Alt key down, you can get a better alignment on that. You get those guidelines. And then you can select everything and weld it together. Now we have a candy cane. That's a lot easier than drawing it out. It's getting easier to draw with Lightburn, but when you don't have to, don't do it. So to put our little lines on the candy cane, we're going to use another eye. I could have saved the first one, but I didn't. So we'll just make it small. We will flip it around. And we're just going to set it on here. And then we will go to the array tool again. This time we're going to work on the y-axis. We'll see how, we got 5mm set for spacing. We'll see how that works out. That looks pretty good. And click OK. And then you can, they're all grouped together. Should be. Yep. So you can hold the Alt key again, and you can work to try to get this exactly where you want it. Don't want to cooperate too much. Now that we're going to ungroup them, and then we're going to grab this one and turn it a little bit. Control D to get us another one, and just arrow out. And we're just going to work around that that curve in the candy cane, and just keep doing that until you get enough to get you to the edge. I know this is a little monotonous, folks, but it is also a lot of fun. At least it is for me. I try to spend as much time out here in the shop as I can. And I never get enough time out here, but as much as I can. Maybe that's close to a candy cane. That looks pretty good. Okay, so we're going to group this together. And then we're going to do an offset. And we'll just make that, leave it one round and outward. And then we're going to move our original out. Now we're going to see if we can put this on top over here. Make it a little smaller. Let me make this bigger so everybody can see it good. Just set that right on top. And then Control D to duplicate, Control Shift H to flip it, and then just take it to the other side like that. Then grab everything together and click Weld. And there we go. So we have the roof now. And we will, this is already grouped, so we'll resize it. get it to fit up here. We're going to use this candy cane a lot. We're going to do some windows and some doors with it. We could do other windows and doors, but this video is going to be long enough as it is. All right, that looks pretty good for that one. Control D, Control Shift H. And we got one for the other side. And then we'll Control D again and just arrow one out. And we'll be able to make our windows. And of course, inside here will be an engrave, and the outside will cut out. Shift and select both of these, arrow them out. I'm going to get this one out of the way. And then you want to do an offset again for both of those together, so you'll be able to cut them out and then set them right on top. And you want this to be a cutout, so change it to a line. Put this back up there, and then select everything together and group it. I know that was painful, folks. I'm sorry. But it's gonna look pretty good when we get done. All right, this one is just on standby until we get our gingerbread made. So for the gingerbread, we're using another font, Vintage Christmas here. And we're going to use the lowercase h. And there is our gingerbread. And it's a lot quicker than having to make one. I did do a video on how to make one, but that video is like 12 minutes long just to make a gingerbread. And it would make this one way too long. So we're going to set these right here. We just size up a little bit. And I will put a link to that font down in the description so you can go get it. So we want to do an offset of this, and 1 is fine. Click OK. And we're going to get a copy. We'll make that center an engraving like that. Move it over here out of the way a little bit. We're going to grab that back, because it's going to go over on this side. I know that's a little behind my head. Sorry about that. That one is going to go there. And again, you can hold the Alt key and get lined up. Something like that. And we can weld that into place. We're going to do another offset, because we're going to need 2 of these. So the boy has a bow tie. I'm going to make that outer edge a cut. Control D to copy that. And then we're going to have to right click and convert to path, so it turns this into an object instead of a letter. And then we're going to take this bow tie. When you convert to path, nothing is grouped together. So we're going to grab the bow tie, we're going to group it, and then we're going to move it up And now we have a girl gingerbread. And I didn't need to do that back, so I'm just going to take it off. I know I'm confusing you folks. Sorry about that. We'll get there. I knew this one was going to take a little while. But when a viewer asks for something, I try my best to do it. So if you want to see something done, ask, and I will certainly try. Okay, so now she has a bow on her head, and he has a bow tie. That candy cane's just all in the way. So now you want to select her back, group everything together, and then you want to do an offset that will go around the bow. Click OK. Then you can just move her out of the way a little bit, select the background, make it a cut, and now we need a copy to go over here. We've got to move this guy out of the way. My screen's almost not big enough for all this, but I hate to keep it too small where you have trouble seeing. So we're going to pull her over here, use the Alt key, and get right about there. Select everything and then weld that in. We're getting close, folks. And now I need to do that again since I took the only one I made. There. Move her out a little bit. Turn this back into a cut. And then put it back on. Man, that's a lot of work. All right, so we're going to group these together. We're going to group this guy together. These are ready, and they will just cut out and set on top here. Now we need some windows and doors. So we're going to use the candy cane. This one we can use for the window. So we're going to duplicate that, Control D, and just move it out of the way a little bit. I'm going to have to move these guys down. I know my screen's getting a little busy, but hopefully it's not too irritating. And then we're just going to make this set small. And we're going to put a window up there. So once you make it small, Control D, and then Control Shift V for a vertical flip, and then do something like that. And we need to get a background. So you got to ungroup those. We needed them out of the way, so we can weld these other ones together. So just group those. Now grab these and weld them together. And then we're just going to duplicate that, Control D. Move one over here. Hold on to it and press Alt. I don't know what that was. Something made it move. Hold the Alt key and just set it in place. Make that an engrave just so we have a mark for where this should set. Move this back in place. Move that back in place. Grab everything and group that together. Dang. We're getting close, folks. All right. So all of these will cut out separately and just set where they're supposed to go. These will cut out and set on top of here. Now we need this candy cane to make a door. We're going to set that there, Control D, and then Control Shift H. Pull that out. Hold down the Alt key and just get them together. Select them both. Go to Offset. That looks like it's enough. Click OK. And while the original is selected, you can go ahead and click your engrave. Now we're just going to duplicate this, Control D, and just move it out of the way to be cut all as one piece. And then we will delete this. Select that, turn it into an engrave. And I think we done it, folks. I hope that wasn't too irritating. If something's not clear, just ask me and I'll let you know. It's been a long day, but hopefully I didn't confuse you too much. So I believe we are ready to jump in the laser and cut this out. So let me get set up and I will be right back. Okay, we are framed up and ready to go. We're using 3mm basswood plywood. It's going to take 2 cuts, so I'll just change it out midstream and keep rolling. We can send the code on over, cut this out, and see what it looks like. All right, had a little mishap here, but you know, it happens. So I'll get this cleaned up and put it together and we will get a closer look at it. Okay, well here's our finished project. I think it looks pretty good. I just stuck it together with some tape so I could take it apart later and paint it. If you folks give this a try and you have questions, just let me know and I'll be glad to answer them. If the video was helpful, please like and subscribe. It'll help the channel grow and it'll help me to keep doing this. I really appreciate you folks watching. I appreciate the comments and the questions. It not only helps me as a newbie, but it helps anybody that comes across them. So thank you very much. So check back often for new videos. You folks take care, and we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.